Hello and welcome to Everything is the Same Except, a podcast where we take any media we want, alter one thing, and then explore what would be affected by this one little change. I'm your host, Ninja.
I am Clocky, who is somewhat prone to missing his cue.
I'm Gage, otherwise known as Cat Comic Studios.
I'm Manny, and I'm usually doing some sort of side project, so I'll probably yeah,
It's okay, we still love you.
I get on side tangents. But I know what I'm talking about half the time.
Yeah, you're perfect for this then.
I have an approximate knowledge of everything.
So, yeah, let's...
And between the four of us, we have 3 brain cells.
Woo!
I take all 3. Fuck you.
Ninja, what are we going to explore today?
Alright. So, first
Did
topic...
you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
the
Okay,
very
cool.
first person. You dumb, silly bitch.
No, but introduce yourself again.
I'm Ninja, also
Wilson
known
likes
as...
you.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So, the first topic we're gonna look at, because Gage is a dumb little bitch who doesn't know things,
Go on.
is gonna be Monsters, Inc., except the original power source is children's laughter, rather than them realizing it at the end of the film.
Okay. So, Ninja, is there a certain format to this? Is it just that we ask questions and then just explore on the thing? Or is it just we kind of all go down different roads? Or are we building our own fiction? How do you want to do this?
I feel like we're just spitballing it.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Kind of like as we've done in experimental stuff before.
Okay. First question.
yeah.
Does that mean that the ending is going to result in them finding out that screams are the things that give them more power?
No, they've already justified that the Screams would... Maybe this is like a sequel.
Or a prequel?
No, we already did a
It's
prequel.
because I found it at the end. You see, my problem with this, is like Monsters Inc. is like about the evils of capitalism, roughly. So I feel like the problem is what's the conflict?
It needs a new
theme.
theme.
Driving plot problems here. Is it that
'Cause,
like monsters
at-
don't understand what is appealing to the modern youth? This becomes like a furious exercise in meme culture. So like we replace Boo with like a college student who has these hecking monsters come out of her closet and has to hide them in her dorm room, and she has to explain to them she has to explain memes to them.
I mean, they are still breaking into people's homes.
Yeah, I think Boo's like one of the people who's like chill, would be the one who's chill about it, just like, oh hey Sully, what's up? And he's like, yeah, what does bode mean?
She's just going to be like,
Boo.
okay,
She
so
has
what you
to
need to
explain
do,
for like 10 minutes.
you need to have Mike go first, and he's gonna pop in. He's gonna say, "Oh Lord, he's coming," and then he's gonna have Sully just go in. And I want you to leave the closet at a jet run.
So what you're saying is that the new movie is Memesters, Inc.
What have we done?
And it makes $1,000. And
Yes.
That's all it
the
gets, it's
like
just
stick of all of the
1,000.
memes.
Yeah, it costs
I'm looking at the
35
budget.
million to
Oh,
make
okay, yeah, I
it.
forgot. I may have forgotten the financial scale on which movies operate.
The budget for it was 115 million. The box office was 577.4 million.
You know, like,
So it
what the
don't
sad
make much.
the sad part is, no matter what memes they do, if they're relevant at the time of animating, they will not be relevant by the time it's on like the big screen at all.
So
It'll be
clearly-
I feel
gone.
like you have
It'll
too
be
much faith
cycled
in
through.
movies. It's not just that they'll be dead because of the time period it takes to produce a movie. But,
Yeah.
like, they'll be dead because after the movie, we won't want to see them anymore.
Okay, but another thought. Okay, so if it's a bunch of old memes, then all you have to do is just wait long enough to make the movie, and then it's just like retro.
Or you could just make memes for the film.
That making memes is really hard. Speaking as someone who's tried to make memes for like my own original series, it's wicked. I don't know how they manifest. I just know that there's memes. I just don't know
it's
how to
not
make
just
them.
memes, but like if you're trying to make fictional, like world building references to say something, because like you think of the real reference first, and you're like, yeah, Adventure Times thing where the writer's like, man, I hate having to cut what the fuck out of it because there's nothing else actually replaces it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ninja,
Like,
Sometimes
but,
leaves
but
just
the
work.
flip side is if you don't fix it, if you don't fix it with a properly fantastical allegory, tonight, someone, no one cares about Fortnite, you peon. And then it's like you just can't do that. That is immersion breaking.
so okay, Ninja, remind me again. You're saying that they they already knew by the very beginning of it that laughter was better.
Right.
So in this case, we're assuming then that there still is at least some history, some fucking world building before it,
Yep.
where they realized that screams just didn't work as well.
Right.
Does that mean that they've also tested other emotions?
I don't think I
Emotions
want to
produce
know where this is
noises.
going.
I would say, I'm
let's
thinking,
want to
like,
remember that
what?
we are talking about children here, so we cannot answer that the questionable way.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
I
was about to say,
Also,
like,
it's
what
just
is
a
the
sound thing.
Well, okay, no. I'm just saying.
output of a child's belch?
Okay, no. I'm saying what I'm saying is, it does. Okay, what if the whole thing is like there was at least a time period where they tried to piss off children?
Oh, get them, like, tantrums.
Yeah.
Get some tantrums going.
I gave this child a knife
That
and
would-
told him to go at me.
I mean, like, to be fair.
See, I feel like that would be like an accident. Like maybe it's like it's like the laughter is a learning process because they start with fear, and then they accidentally hit the wrong end of the fight or flight response, and get decked in the teeth, and they're like, huh, according to my emotional Geiger counter, that actually spits out a higher output than screams. So we just gotta take.
They tried that for a
and get
little
the stuffing
bit.
beaten out of us by small
'Cause
children.
If anger works too, then that seems like that'd be perfect. Because like obviously laughter's the best one, but if anger works too, then you could just get kids angry by old memes, like your dad fucking doing a Fortnite joke.
Or like the toddlers that just immediately go into tantrum mode. Like,
God, can you just
Irrational
I'm
tantrum
sorry.
mode.
I'm just like I'm stuck on the memes thing, and I'm just stuck on the mental image of just like it's all dark. You wake up at night, and then the kid wakes up at night, and then like the closet rattles, and then like it opens, and then there's just like what's his name, Randall, just T-posing.
With all of his arms.
Well, obviously he's in a proper T-pose, which requires all of your limbs that are not your standy limbs to be held out straight at right angles.
At least that'd be really easy to animate.
oh god, yeah.
You don't even animate him walking; he just floats in. That's dedication.
Yeah.
Well, tune in for my next original character project where I have a character who just floats around in a T-pose.
Oh, that's so good.
It's basically just like in the Christmas Light, how they made it so all the superpowers that these characters had in it was just really easy to animate stuff. So like, I can just teleport, or I can just shrink, because you just mess with the ZY axis. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, another question.
With the words, yeah.
Yep.
So another question. We're assuming then
Yes.
that okay, so we went from screams to laughter,
Mhm.
but why do we have to assume that that's where it ends? Could there be another more powerful power source? Is that what the new plot of Monsters Inc. is? Is that like, laughter works well, but what if there's something even better?
Like what?
Well, like that could rapidly get terrifying.
Well, that's what I wanna
because we
try and
are,
figure
after
out.
all, thinking of the situation where people, which occasionally has amoral people. Like the thing is, like the whole screams laughter transition is what gets a corrupt CEO out of there that they didn't realize was corrupt. So like, conveniently didn't happen yet, or it conveniently didn't happen because it didn't need to happen. that guy's still around, and like,
Exploiting all that.
so it's kind of a little, concerning to be like, well, but how can we properly harvest the child?
Yeah.
So that dude's still in there, but now it's laughter that's going to be a thing. And like it's
I mean,
more
like, there
like
could even be a thing of like, in his, corporate greed, he fails to accept the true superpower of making people happy.
I captured the
Right.
child, and I am forcing them to watch Bobo the Clown until they laugh themselves silly.
Till they laugh themselves to death.
But I mean, like, it would be like, well, but why are we making people happy? We're on for good.
Back in my day, all we did was make them shit themselves.
I mean, there could be something to that. I mean, like, manure's a, energy resource.
Mm-hmm.
It would be funny to realize that like the laughter itself is still like as powerful as it would be like in real life. So like if they just figured out like, oh, electricity, holy shit.
Trevor, I can't believe we tune in for next time when Monsters Inc. goes solar punk.
I'd pay to see that. Well, what's the new theme to this movie then, Ninja? If we're starting out with the original conflict resolved, like what's the new thread? What's the new fiction, as it
That's
were?
where I started with it. Is like, yeah,
I think the corporate dude gets kicked. Like they figure out the conflict is more like the boss rather than like, oh, we're running out of power. It's like boss is
he's able to hide himself behind other conflicts.
Edgy
Otherwise,
comedians.
like Frozen did. Where it's like,
no.
Monsters Inc. guest starring Dane Cook.
Ugh.
Just like, people don't get my comedy, social justice warriors. And it's like, first off, why would children even care about that in your comedy?
Okay, wait. Could it be? Is it this? Okay, is it Randall that's now the edgy comedian?
Oh God. Oh God.
this is like a Joker wannabe.
Oh my god. Or maybe Randall's like trying to figure out a newer, even better power source, because like the figuring out that laughter was a better source is a newer thing. So like he is on the track of like, well, there must be an even better source. So he could be an edgy comedian, or it could be something he could just be a straight edgelord. Like he's trying. No,
Yeah,
wait, that's just the
like,
original
I
fiction.
really
again.
feel like you could do something here where like there's a plot thread of like church not wanting to accept laughter as a valuable thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I'm going with this, yeah.
You also have the possibility of like different forms of humor. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
them trying to decide, okay, which one is the most valid? Because people
I mean,
be like,
it
oh,
wouldn't
well,
really necessarily be the humor as much as the emotions that it, invokes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, there's having a bleak chortle at something that's a little bit terrible.
And then there's laughing your ass off at Dane Cook.
I honestly thought he was funny when I was younger, and then I was like,
We all
and
did.
then like I kind of like got away from him and came back. It's like,
Yeah, he's
So,
just
like-
hyper.
I don't
Yeah.
actually know who you're talking about.
Dane
Oh,
Cook.
I'll tell you about him later. He's
Well, I
not.
have
He's
to
not
Google
like
this
he's not
now.
an edgelord or anything. He's just very hyper.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think Clocky mentioned like it could be some people that are like they don't accept that like laughter is the better thing. So it's like the original moral was yes about corruption and stuff, and the new one it still is, because now it's just people not accepting that there is a better power source because it's like too difficult to like change over to, or like
Yeah,
there's so
and I
many
mean,
people
you
that
could
are
even
used
draw
to
a
using
parallel- You could like
screams.
draw a parallel between like, cynicism and like corrupt capitalism, because it's like it's not like people don't know that there are more convenient power sources in our society. It's just
Now this is
they
just
refuse
getting,
to
like-
do it because this doesn't make us money.
Yeah, this is getting like really real.
If I can say one more thing though, we do see like at the very end of the original Monsters Inc. that it is hard to figure out like right away. Okay, what's gonna get me a laugh?
Yeah.
So you do have
Physical.
Mike kind of going through trying to figure out specifically what's gonna make the kid laugh. And I feel like it is harder to figure out, like, okay, what causes a good laugh than what causes a good scare.
Yeah.
So there is kind of that art form to it. So people might be like, okay, it gives you more if you get one, but it's much harder to get a good laugh.
That's
and
true.
also, I
Yeah.
mean, there could also be a thing of like people who are just kind of like they're not really good at being funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
You could have Randall lie
you
and
could-
say that he made the kid laugh, but he actually always makes them scream because it's easier.
And he has to keep working overtime. And then he starts blaming the overtime on the other employees who just have this natural talent, or at least what he assumes to be natural talent.
Mm. It's just like, no one gets my humor, so he tries to force it. In a bad way.
Yeah.
And that's the conflict.
And so Sully and Mike Wazowski have to teach Randall how to actually be funny.
Yep.
Or just don't be an asshole.
John Mulaney,
Yeah.
guest starring John Mulaney as himself, not Monster John Mulaney, just John Mulaney.
Just
Yes!
regular John Mulaney.
They catch him and they're like, hey, teach our friend to be funny.
And he's just so confused.
And he's just going to be like, well, this is the third strangest thing I've been kidnapped over.
He would say that.
He's so good, I love him.
Where can John Mulaney fit into this movie? And is it...
You don't
Wait.
Instead
fit
of
in.
Boo, it's John Mulaney!
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say Spider-Ham, but I like this as well.
Or it's just Boo, like, design-wise, exactly the same, except talks like John Mulaney.
John Mulaney's voice.
This is his entire small job.
Mike Wazowski.
Talks as if
Pinkcatninja.
he's a Chicagoan man. No!
You thought everything's the same, except laughter is the real superpower, and everybody knows this from the start. But actually, it's everything is the same, except Boo is voiced by John Mulaney.
I hate it.
I mean, to be fair, it makes me laugh more.
Fair.
I mean, how hard must it be to make... Do you think it's easier to make comedians laugh? Do you think that they have a better sense of humor, or they're more refined
I
generally?
mean, like, I would say that they
It
have
depends on the
standards, but also
comedian.
I feel like
True.
having intellectual standards doesn't actually mean you don't laugh at things.
Right.
Like, I can cognitively understand a joke and what's good sass lines, but, if you string together the right set of nonsense words and hit me with them, I will still absolutely lose my nuggets.
Like jelly bean
Like,
stapler
listen, I
flavor.
consider myself someone who understands words relatively well
That's true.
together, and things happen. And I'm, even relatively funny.
Mhm.
If you say Teenage Mutant Needle Peoples at me, I will still laugh. I can't keep a straight face.
Same.
Yeah,
I
I
like
like-
because comedy is a fickle beast, and it has no respect for anything or anyone.
I like to try and say, we're going down to Pound Town, but in a very serious, acting voice. No
I'd be
hint of
very confused.
I
Hot
should
jelly
hope so.
bean water.
That's just gross.
Oh. I got Manny to laugh.
That was like a... Yeah. Yeah.
Awaken, yeah. See, and on my end, the potential humor value was erased by the abject horror of knowing what jelly bean water means to you. I am your friend. I am cursed with these knowings.
Yep.
So I think what we got down then is that it's pretty much the same thing, except it's just it's more about comedy and how people are adapting to it.
Mm-hmm.
Boo is voiced by John Mulaney,
Important.
and Randall is an edgelord comedian that needs to learn how to just chill out and maybe
The real
Maybe
superpower
account
of
for the-
teamwork.
maybe account for other people's feelings.
Yep.
As the Sonic reference of this episode, there will be at least one in every one that I am in.
Hell yeah.
Keep track, audience. I think we made a decent movie.
Fund it,
Alright.
DreamWorks.
Yeah. Fund our reimagining.
You said DreamWorks. You know Monster Inc. is Pixar, right?
Oh my god.
I feel like I should know that, but
I can't keep them straight.
yeah.
DreamWorks made Shrek. I think they also made B-Movie. Like, if it's a meme,
That's another
just
episode.
assume it was DreamWorks.
That's a good mnemonic. So there's a good mnemonic in there somewhere, rather.
Well, Ants never became a meme, though.
Did it? I mean, we could change that.
Let's not.
No.
Not today.
Yeah, I watched both Bugs Life and Ants. That was like,
Ants is just terrifying.
Eh.
It gave me nightmares as a child.
I just remember
They're
not getting
butterface.
half of it.
They're so butterfaced.
Do you think, I mean, they were pretty monstrous. Do you think the ants were just regular sized and they were just somewhere in the monster world?
They are now.
In DreamWorks Ants or in Pixar's A Bug's Life?
DreamWorks Ants.
Yeah, it's a crossover. Shut up. This is my sequel. We're working on
Marvel
sequels
Cinematic
now.
Universe is stranger than I have expected.
Ugh. Okay, are we ready for the next thing now? Or do you just want to go on Ants now?
We'll save ants for another episode.
Yeah.
Gauge away from this idea before he comes up with something worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing, but in space.
Oh my god, yes.
That is
yes.
unbelievably valid. I'm about
Ooh.
that life. I'm
You're in like
about
little,
that. Yeah,
little
you don't
tiny
even
planet.
have to change anything. It's just good. You're just like a little astronaut dude.
They're on asteroids.
I
You've got a
have
little
the thing.
you have the thing that you're colonizing. You got a
Yes!
little colony building, and it's like initially it's like super crappy. You can have some like mild survival elements. Like don't actually like make it like stressful. Like it's like
Yeah.
you're gonna die and run out of air or something.
But you
But
gotta
it's, like,
find.
your character has like a fatigue value and something. Just just go ahead and just slap some Minecraft in there. Make it something where you have to build and explore, and you meet aliens, and you can have wonderful friendships with them and talk to them.
And make them move
Thing
into
is,
your
they need
new
to be
little...
really weird aliens. They've just got to be like real weird aliens, but like friendly and like cute, but in like not a stereotypical conventional way.
I have 3 ideas. Okay.
Stage.
So they could basically just release these 3 ideas just as like a Pokemon, like how they released 2 versions of the same Pokemon game.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yes, straight up Animal Crossing in space, you're colonizing a new planet, and there's like different animals that can come visit your new colony.
Mhm.
Alternately, it's a colony where you are surrounded by like robot animals who are like helping you to like, build up the place. Different robots come in as they're needed and you make new friends. It'd probably be more story related on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Or the one Clocky just mentioned where it's different cute aliens. And I mean that could also have a story mode, I think. Just,
I see no reason why you couldn't just condense all 3 of those concepts, as that's just
True.
that's just a variety of the cast that
Yeah.
you're relating
Oh,
with.
I
Some
would
of them
love that.
are
Yeah, like
animals
aliens and
who are there
robots.
with you as colonists. Then you have the robots that are kind of the staff of the colony, but you can also still befriend and talk to them. Aliens outside that you can find and interact with them.
Ninja, I'm gonna cry. I'm so passionate about this idea.
I got it. You can
Go
meet
on.
the outside aliens because they'll come on asteroids, and you kind of go like you would to the island to the asteroids.
Yeah. And you
You'd
go
be, like,
encounter
special
different
event
aliens.
friends, like how I think in like at least. So bear with me. The last Animal Crossing game I played, and I think the only Animal Crossing game I played was the one for GameCube.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Retro.
I didn't experience much past that, but I know that like there was like the jack-o'-lantern ghost guy that would show up for Halloween,
Yeah.
and like the special event NPCs kind of show up for something.
Yep.
You can even like give them like pun names based off of like astrological phenomenon. Like there's one named Hallie.
Aww.
That's so cute. What the fuck? Okay, and then I feel like you automatically have a new element with this, in that like, okay, so there was like the town building that they added in New Leaf, and I feel like
You're
here,
like building and expanding the colony.
yes, and I feel like here they can easily add an element of it's like, oh, like try and make friends with different aliens, and like it's still Animal Crossing, so it's not like you can really screw it up that hard, but like the whole idea is that you try and befriend them, and then you learn more about them, and then you can trade more things with them or something like that.
It would be fun if you actually kind of like took the town building to an angle of like, rather than kind of what Animal Crossing does, where there's a more simplified system where there's set personality types, foodie, villager, and something, I don't know what the other personality types are. Rather like really a little more refined cast, but they all have a lot of different personal qualities.
Yeah.
Can attract specific villagers to your colony by including certain features.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just travelers not interested in settling down, so they're kind of special occasions. But you know, if you play your cards right, some of the aliens actually will move into your colony and live there.
I feel like also if they ever wanted to do like an Animal Crossing with a story mode, I feel like they could pretty much just do Animal Crossing Deep Space Nine, where you just move to like this space station and then like you're trying to like build up your own place and make friends with people and stuff like that. I assume that there probably is going to be fewer wars and stuff than Star Trek, but you know.
Wouldn't that just be My Sims Kingdoms?
I've never played that, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Either way.
Yeah, it's a little sim game that has a story mode to it, and it was for Wii, and it was this cute little game. I only played the DS version, which didn't have that much of a story to it, but the Wii version has a little bit more. And it's essentially just this king tells you to go to these kingdoms and fix things. So it's like that, except probably much better because it'd be Animal Crossing.
I feel
Obviously.
like with this
Animal
one, you'd
Crossing,
be like
yes.
in the colony, and like you start off by yourself, and like rather than having neighbors already, you're alone.
Mhm.
I
Initially,
feel like
and then like they come in, and instead of like as you make friends with people, they move in.
a little overly bitter compared to the usual tonal quality of Animal Crossing.
Go on.
Completely alone. So like I feel like you should pull a leaf from Harvest Moon's book here and go with like you have a mentor tutorial character who's guiding you. I mean even Animal Crossing usually has that. It's usually Tom Nook.
What if it's a
Yeah.
cute little AI?
Thinking is like you've got like
Yes.
like kind of like an old robot friend who's been there for a long time. Like maybe the colony used to be bigger, but it's now kind of in disrepair. But like the foundations are there. Been there the entire time, and it's just like, oh, you're here. Someone actually else is here now. Sorry, I'm not used to talking to other people.
And then they open up to you and they
20
got
years.
like little narratives. Like they
Yeah,
did with
then they've
the
got like
Able
narratives and that
Sisters.
sort of thing. They've got like narratives and explorations, and you can like learn the characters' histories a lot.
Like honestly, it's not even like I'm not calling you. It's not that it's like it's not a super funny idea. It's just such a good idea. It's like a legitimately good idea, Ninja.
And like I feel like this is probably going to be how it's going to be with some of these. Is it's like
True.
just because of our whims. Some of these we're going to just totally meme on them, and others it's just like
Memesters Inc.
that.
No.
You can't dunk on that. It's your child. It's like a little Girl Scout just came to your door and rang the bell, and are you going to be like, maybe if you weren't so dumb, Scrub Lord? That's the Girl Scout. That's adorable. I'm pretty sure being dumb is illegal.
I am gonna have to name the tutorial AI Dumb Scrub Lord.
No.
Oh. The most
He
I
was
will
named.
let you do is like joke about cleaning, and there's the scrub lord, and then they go like, wait, why? That doesn't. No, I didn't think that through. That doesn't mean anything else.
No.
That means something else.
There was a path there, and I went down it in my heart. That's what matters.
Don't
Oh.
be mean to Station AI. He's lonely.
No.
It's
But
okay,
I mean-
I made him.
To be fair, like one of the big yes, thank you. You better put that art on screen for the video. But I feel like one of the whole big things about Animal Crossing is the friendship. So it's like, yeah, you would help the AI like become more personable, and like maybe that AI became like jaded or something, and then like you try and befriend it, and then more people are willing to come visit, and then it becomes significantly less jaded, and it's just happy. It's just a nice story.
Yeah.
Can you
it-
guess
it-
which
it
one is
becomes
the
a thing.
original? Like your mentor one?
The little flyy robot?
Yeah.
I'm.
Ah.
So they got
Oh, I was
rest.
gonna guess the one with the little red antenna. Mentor friend.
I like the eyes one. Eye stalks, green one.
So, okay, gameplay-wise though, I actually am very curious. Is this a colony where, like, on the surface of this world, you can walk around just in regular clothes? Or is the main fashion element, like, making a spacesuit that looks, like, really awesome?
I think it would be
Imagine
like
that you would. I like the idea that you would have a customizable spacesuit and also a customizable casual wear.
Yeah,
And
okay,
you
for, like,
So,
wearing
like, you start
biodomes.
off-
inside and outside. Yeah.
yeah. You start off wearing the spacesuit, and then as you colonize better and like make the place look good
Atmosphere.
and stuff, you can actually start being casual in more places.
God, I want this game so fucking bad!
Well,
my
time to learn
God.
how to program, Gage.
Yeah, like, no shit, honestly. And, like, I mean, obviously, you'd be building up colonies, and then you could visit your friends' colonies, obviously. And then there'd be,
Like
like,
just go on a tiny rocket ship and just go,
Aw.
that's the loading screen.
and there'd be different, like, alien bugs and flowers that you could find, and just...
Okay, but do you know what I'm calling this? Do you know what I want to call it? Do you know what I think we should call this?
What?
What is?
What?
It's,
You cut out. You're putting...
no, call it like local space.
Oh.
Animal Crossing local space.
That's cute.
Better, you could make a pun on Animal Crossing and call it Asteroid Crossing.
Comet critters.
Ah!
Ninja, no, you're revealing secrets from the tabletop game.
The only
for-
bad thing about that joke is you can't explain it to your
Yeah,
audience.
Yeah.
I can. I will. Right now.
There's stuffed animals from my tabletop story.
Yep.
But yes, I'm just... Okay. Speaking of, I feel like there should be stuffed animals that are collectibles that you could decorate your base with.
Sort
That are
of
like the past animals from the series,
Chuck some
perhaps?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like... Okay, so you could keep fish in your house, but you could also keep like alien fish and alien pets or something.
Consider that you actually are able to terraform, but in like a bunch of different ways. That it's like you're not obligated to just making it a standard place you can walk around with. So like when you say keep fish in your house, I'm just saying you could have a water house if you wanted to.
Yes. I think there's a turtle on my neighbor's driveway. I don't know. I'm sorry to like... That's just throwing me off. There's just a fucking turtle out there and we're out in the suburbs.
It's Totemeyer.
There's gonna be where
He
turtle's
has
gonna be.
decided to
Yeah,
rebel
you're
against
right.
us for
You're
trying to
right.
change his game. He says, I
The
can't
bastard.
I can't be the starting character in it if it's in fucking space. Come here,
Yes,
Gage.
you can.
Come here.
Coward.
That sounds like Twitter talk. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Also, he's not even the first character. Like, he doesn't show up until you go to the island in New Leaf, so...
Yeah.
I also love the idea that you could just get on like a jet or something, or some sort of spaceship, and just kind of like go through space, and then just visit with some other animals or stuff. Oh my god. It's just so fucking good of an idea. I love it.
It could even be like, I don't remember, I think it's Pokemon Silver and Gold, where you can go back to the...
Kanto region or something?
Yeah, where you can go back to the original region of the game and kind of interact with that. So in theory, if you had a spaceship, you could go back to what the game calls your original town and interact with the original animal characters, but only in that area.
That would have to be downloadable content.
Yep.
Actually, no. No, that should be in the game. That should be in the
It could also just be
this
the
like
case,
late game thing.
if they could somehow.
Of games where it doesn't have to really exist in the real world, so it can be whatever we want it to be.
That's true.
That's true.
I mean, my thinking is that like continuing with the Pokemon thing, like they had it where you could migrate Pokemon from past regions. So I would think theoretically you could like download your town from a past game and then just.
And your original character is the mayor or something.
Oh, that's what you'd use the amiibo cards for, is to bring in animals from the other games into your colonies.
Yes.
And they'd even have like little, spacesuits and everything.
Yeah.
So fucking cute.
Animal Crossing, fund it, Nintendo.
Yeah,
Yes.
you'd have like this little rocket that the amiibos can come on. So then when they arrive, they have their own little personalized rockets.
Wait.
And the
Wait.
rockets turn into houses.
Yes.
Hold
It's like the
fucking
tent.
phone. Hold
The
on.
newest game. Yeah.
What about Gulliver?
I don't know who that is.
Gulliver was an alien in like the Wii version, so...
He's like this. Is he a pelican? I think, or not a pelican. It's fucking.
The eagle?
No. The birds with over the water.
Seagull?
That's
You
the
mean
bitch.
like Gulliver?
Yes, that's the pun. But he would visit. Yeah, he'd visit your town in a fucking spaceship and shit. Like. Okay, there's potential here. Like, I'm not the only one. I'm not going crazy. There's potential here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's something to this.
he can
About it
bring
for
you
what, like a
stuff
half
from
hour
planets
straight?
you haven't been to yet.
Oh, that's so true. And you still have to shoot him down like an asshole.
He'd be like, like maybe the first time you do it, he'd be like, okay, like, hey, why did you hit me again? Like, was that on purpose? That wasn't on purpose. That definitely wasn't on purpose. Anyway, I got some stuff. I found some stuff. Would you like it?
Are you still using a slingshot, or do you have like a little ray gun?
Yeah,
think by
ray
that
gun! It'd
yeah.
be cute.
First time you shoot him down, and then the next time, because shooting people down in space has slightly more consequences than shooting people down outside of space.
He fucking dies?
It damages your
A beacon.
colony.
No, he gives you a little beacon thing so you can like set it down outside and call him. So you don't.
Oh, that's
have to
much
shoot
nicer.
him into the
Next
sky.
time, don't shoot me down, please. Here, have this beacon.
And you can still
Could
shoot
have
him
literally
down.
murdered me.
Yeah.
Beacon to save my bacon.
Oh my god.
He makes mentions of like the other town, which is your town,
Aw.
in the main city.
He's
Just
"Do you
like,
have any
oh,
idea?
I bet
I'm
this.
all the way out here because I'm trying not to get shot down by people anymore. It's bad
I
for
feel
my
like-
health.
In this case, this also must mean that the happy home designers are more
Jesus.
of colonists, or more about making a better colony.
Yeah.
The Happy Home
I
Designers
just chucked something
expanded
across
out
the
their
room again.
branches.
Goodness.
I genuinely hope, like, not even as like a goof thing, I genuinely hope at some point someone at Nintendo actually does make something even slightly along these lines. It's just, it's such a
Nintendo.
powerful idea.
I mean, doesn't even have to be Nintendo. Just, if somebody wants
Nintendo
to
owns
make this
Animal
game,
Crossing.
please.
Yeah, like just it doesn't. It could be inspired by Animal Crossing, but it could be something entirely different. You know, kind of dodge the copyrights.
Okay, Ninja, like, everyone, if you're in the comments and there is a game like this, and there has to be, like, there's no way that there isn't. The closest thing I could think about is the one that you mentioned to me, Manny. Is it Starbound? I think.
Yeah.
I think you have the option to start colonies in that,
Yeah, you do.
but it's not quite the thing. I still haven't played it, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Otherwise-
Starbound's like the closest thing.
If somebody wants to make a game off this, please.
Do it.
Please do.
Do it. We'll buy it.
I'll fucking.
I want a free copy.
I
for
will give
throwing
you
this
all
out
the
there.
money.
I'll
I mean,
also buy
obviously,
it.
assuming it's just such a pure and awesome idea. Because I think obviously I fucking love science fiction and stuff, but I do enjoy. I would like there to be more like chill sci-fi stories.
Yep.
Like Garden Paws, but in space.
Yeah.
Just cute, not like Dead Space worrying about crab
Oxygen and
aliens.
stuff.
Yeah.
There
Just-
should be zombie aliens in the cute thing, but they're actually completely chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of an embarrassing thing. We like, as a species, like went through like an edgy teen phase for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Around like Blur, we're the Deathless Scourge, so that's why we look like that. But like now we all kind of like got over it. So
I mean, there's already like zombie villagers and everything.
Yeah.
wait,
Pretty
so you
sure.
just have just like. So you should have the ability to just have like Hexazemors who are just like chill neighbors.
So, okay, if it is actually going to be, like, not Animal Crossing, then I feel like if they want to make it stand out more, is that they could easily just do a short little story mode. With some of the ideas that we mentioned about, like, like trying to make friends with people and, like, maybe
Like,
balancing.
you make it like more of like a like kind of like a Harvest Moon Animal Crossing hybrid. Like
Yeah.
add in some like mining functions, so like just building and crafting your town and befriending all of these people
And making your
just
town
having
better
a good
as you
time,
go.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to date the aliens. Like, that is just, there's...
Maybe.
No, you have to. That's non-negotiable. That has to be a feature.
No! That doesn't
Yeah,
have to be a
would say
thing.
I would say that would be a nice to have as like an optional feature, just like it being like you can even do a thing where it's like one of the places you can invest in is like a cafe where you can go on dates.
Oh, that's so cute.
And if you're not in, then that's fine too.
I'm not saying that you have to end up dating someone. I'm saying that has to be an option. It's
That's why that's
I wanna
the
date a
vibe I'm
cute
getting,
alien.
Yeah. Cage is letting the connection to his character Trinity show here.
shut up.
I
And
couldn't-
first of all, Trinity's the one that would want to be dating cute aliens way more than I would.
I'm saying you're letting the part of you that created Trinity show here, like.
Yeah, you're right. Well, Trinity has good ideas.
The
not
problem
mine.
is, though, then deciding which one to date.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
Not a
you can
problem
only
for me.
have one.
Not necessarily.
Well, I mean, obviously, if it's made by Nintendo, they're gonna force you to be monogamous. But
Yep.
I
If
feel
Gage
like,
made this, it would be poly all the way.
yeah, obviously, consenting poly relationship.
Yeah.
And then you date every alien, and that's the goal of the game.
No!
Achievement
Or
for
even
dating
better,
everyone.
That's an
one thing-
achievement, at least.
Yeah, there you go.
Jesus!
Like different options for like what the goal is. Like obviously the main like overarching one would still be just make the colony better. And then like how you do that is determined by like what you focus on. Do you want to make it like a big garden area? Do you want to make it
Mhm.
like a giant sex dungeon? Like it's
No! No! We
You're right,
this
Nintendo probably
game.
won't go for that.
No!
For a whole slice of life thing.
Yes. Yes, slice of life sex dungeon.
No!
Sorry.
No.
I'll personally hunt you down and pet your cats while I'm doing it, but no, I mean like you could like you could make a host club, but not a sex dungeon Gage. No.
Yeah, if it's made by Nintendo, obviously they're not gonna. Obviously, it's just gonna be like a host club thing.
Host
Other
cows.
developers wouldn't be cowards, is all I'm saying.
Oh!
You do like Stardew Valley does, and just like suddenly you have a baby. What the hell did that happen?
it'd be
I
cute.
think the worst you could
Hard
have
game for
would be
you.
like a maid cafe. That's the worst. That is the most extreme. You know, the kind where
Is a
you...
host club not just a maid cafe, but with attractive men?
Right. Right, they're the
Yep.
same thing. Besides,
Does
you
that
could
mean we
have a
could get-
themed cafe. It'd be cute.
So, could the aliens possibly date each other and then, like, they could... It's kind of like Spore, where, like, different features of them could be, like, added to their offspring? It's like a
That would
mixture
be
of...
way too complicated for Animal Crossing. They would not do something
Right.
like
I think the multi-generational aspect would get a little weird because it would be like, well, why doesn't your character age?
Yeah.
maybe
You could have like characters, like established couples, like maybe one of
the
the
aliens
couples
age
are,
wicked
like,
fast.
I don't like
That's
that.
sad.
No.
Because
No, I
then
mean,
you
like,
have to
in terms
watch
of
your
the
friends
game.
die.
Yeah, watch your friends
I mean,
die
like if you
simulator.
play that, if you play that particular route, maybe it's just time skipping like crazy, but your lifespan is still significantly longer than theirs or something.
Otherwise,
You know, it'd be less
like it.
it's
depressed.
gonna make me sad.
You know, okay. Okay, Manny, what about this idea? Instead of that, it's more like you can just keep following this colony as it continues to develop throughout like a very long time period.
And you follow along with your offspring.
No, yeah. Like your offspring or whoever you adopt or whatever, and then
Yeah.
more different aliens come, and then like
I
it
feel
keeps
like if you
changing
wanted
over
to do
time.
like a long multi-generational thing, then it would be better if your player character was the station AI.
That's true. Or that could be like an overarching, I suppose, a constant, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess it depends on if you... That does open a question of, like, if you could play as this, like, station AI. That'd be interesting.
Also, it would be funny if you could still date people while you're like a big this computer thing.
That's so true.
Yep, just be a giant, spaceship and bring color to the world and also date people.
Stop making references nobody will understand. But that's another option, is that, like, there could be...
Or because no one can understand.
Well, that too, but it could be an arc ship.
Ooh.
You're, like, trying to maintain this arc ship. Then again, that in and of itself is just kind of its own story right there.
Yep. Basically, there's a lot you could do with Animal
Yeah.
Crossing in space.
Yeah, and
Yes.
maybe got a little overexcited about this concept because I think they went like 3 to 7 times longer than the other one.
It's legitimately an awesome idea, though, is the thing.
No, we
I
only
didn't
went like
enjoy it.
7 minutes over the other one.
But yeah.
Info dumping.
But yeah,
I think what
wanted
we
to
learned
Make
from...
up all the information.
I think what we learned from this is that this is just legitimately a good idea.
Yep.
Mm.
Which brings me into my
So what?
next not good idea.
Yay.
Oh, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Eaton here. We need to go back to hell.
Barney, except Barney is a real T-Rex. But not like in a violent
This would be
sense.
perfectly. I feel like this would be perfectly paleontologically valuable. I mean, not just small children need to learn what real dinosaurs are like. We need to education so much. Like, so many people are like, the T-Rexes don't look like that. T-Rexes look like Jurassic Park. It's like, no, they don't. They had feathers.
So yeah, he'd be a feathery
In your
dinosaur.
heart. Yes.
Yes.
I'm
And
just
he'd just,
saying, just
like-
have an excessively paleontologically accurate Barney and friends who are still teaching us skills.
Because
Wait.
no one understands a word they're actually no, people do understand every word they're saying, but all the audience hears is
Okay, that's fine. They could have subtitles, but Barney should definitely just be speaking in, like, growls and shit.
yeah.
I mean, my main
The possibility for him to make a
Kids are
bunch
like,
of cute
yay!
my main
Okay,
concern
but
with it.
consider. Do growls be mysteriously understood? He has
Like it's
a
Star
tiny
Wars.
iPad. Sword hands. Dude, he holds up a sign. He holds up signs.
Ninja, what were you saying?
What was your concern?
The main concern is the fact that, like, okay, so the setting of Barney is within, like, a preschool, maybe, like, kindergarten classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And if you make him a T-Rex, how do you get a T-Rex to be able to interact with things in
I
a
thought you were
kindergarten
I thought you were gonna say how do you get a life-size T-Rex in a kindergarten class?
No, they'd figure that out.
I mean,
easily.
that's
You
true,
just
too.
have him outside on the
He's
playground, obviously.
I guess.
Well, obviously, this is a genetically modified T-Rex that doesn't want to eat children.
Well,
Yeah.
Ninja, are you just
Maybe
making
the
fucking
problem-
Jurassic Park for
Maybe the
preschoolers?
problem is
No,
we need
it's
to-
our real. No, not our real dinosaurs. It's we're back at dinosaurs.
No,
That's another
consider.
episode.
Maybe we have the wrong idea of feeling our need to make Barney a T-Rex. I mean, they don't. He's just Barney the purple dinosaur. He's not necessarily explicitly. And he could be one of the raptors, which, to our understanding, are actually really little guys with feathers, and that would be like extremely cute.
But
That's true.
he is shown to be bigger than the other two dinosaurs that are there.
Yeah, we
So
got like a
just-
So we can change
Triceratops
that.
and whatever
That's
the heck PJ is.
Making Barney a little guy is like a wild immersion-breaking experience, as opposed to making him a paleontologically accurate dinosaur.
I don't
Of
remember.
the changes that we are making here to this premise, that should not be the straw that breaks the camel.
I don't remember much about Barney. I didn't know there was
I
a
do.
character named BJ.
PJ.
Wikipedia,
like this
says,
yellow-
his name,
he's like a-
Wikipedia says his name is BJ, and I
Well,
think
then I have misremembered it. I watched the show a little bit longer than necessary.
there's a character called Scooter McNutty.
That's the new dude. Because like all I know is that there was BJ, the yellow guy, and then with like red sneakers, and then Baby, which is like, or like, yeah, Baby Bop or something like that. She was like a Triceratops that was green. Then we have the purple dinosaur, T-Rex, Barney. Then we have like this purple bird that was like an old woman or something, and then there was like this
What?
cool, yeah. This is like a second generation or something, and then there was like this yellow bird with like a red hat backwards because he was the cool kid, or was he blue? I don't
Are
remember.
the other dinosaurs still like cartoony looking, or are they? Is it?
I think they
We're
would be
going for paleontological accuracy all the way
Okay.
down. I'm just saying. This is going to be the essential appeal here. We are teaching you about what real dinosaurs look like.
Yeah.
They didn't have feathers.
I do like the idea. So, I don't know a whole lot.
I
Also, there's a lot of
sort of do.
Apparently, I'm sorry that I don't have much to add to this, but apparently the first 6 seasons were co-produced in Israel.
Huh. Okay.
So,
They had to have been made somewhere, right?
Yeah.
so okay.
Elder
Why
King
is
cannot
this
be
change being
indirectly
made,
into our
Ninja? Like,
consciousness.
maybe this will help. This will help give me ideas. Like, is it Clocky's idea that it's more to be? Is it more to be
Paleontological
accurate?
Well, clearly it was a lot easier to get, like, a realistic, probably taken from the puppets used making Jurassic Park dinosaur than it was to make just a costume dinosaur.
Right. But in goof logic here, what's our goof logic for why we're doing a real dinosaur?
Full accuracy.
That's true.
Yeah, because
It's
like
very important.
they were like,
Have you
getting
seen
all
the
annoyed that, like,
concept
kids
of
were
what a real baby dinosaur, or what a real like raptor would look like with like the little wings? That's hecking adorable.
Their
That's
teacher
true.
accidentally summoned real dinosaurs.
So now it's like
Exactly.
Magic School Bus.
Accidentally?
Like,
Yeah, okay,
makes
wait.
a time machine and
Hey,
just
hey,
dinosaurs.
Ninja? Hey, Ninja, I feel like we're focusing on the wrong things in this scenario. Where's this time traveling teacher that did all this?
Let's have her with Miss Frizzle. This is Miss Frizzle's expanded universe.
Yeah, there you
like,
go. That's how it
in the middle,
happened.
in the magic school bus thing, they bring back eggs. And they're like, shit, we have eggs. What do we do with these? And it's like,
What are you
This is a children's show.
you just raise them or something like that.
You just
It's
put
like,
them
we
in
can
the
raise these
kindergarten
dinosaurs.
classroom because they had an egg incubate.
Manny, what the fuck are you talking about? Do you know how hard it is to accidentally bring an egg back? Oh shit, I accidentally brought back a fucking T-Rex egg. What do I do? How do I get rid of this problem? What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean,
A
It was
dinosaur
entirely-
laid it in their backpack and nobody noticed.
Counterpoint would be, I feel like the counterpoint,
Egg
though,
skipping?
the counterpoint would be, I feel like it might work better if instead of having it be Miss Frizzle who just dumps her problems on an elementary school classroom, because that's ain't how Miss Frizzle rolls. She was my childhood hero, and I'm going to stand up for her good name.
That's
I'm going to say that rather we should have it as like they're just sort of like adjacent series that seem to that like with each other sometimes, where like also has a weird magical teacher, but she teaches the kindergarten class obviously, and she's more of a
It's
time
her
travel
wife.
person than a space travel thing. Yes, they're wives.
yes.
Her
Time
wife
and
teaches
space,
the
and
kindergarten.
they rule mutually over education.
Her wife teaches the kindergarten. She was like, "Here you go, honey. I found a gift." She's like, "Is this a T-Rex egg?" She's like,
Yep.
"Yes."
You know,
How
that
did
actually-
you get this? I nearly
just-
died. It's fine.
Okay, this just reminds me of another thing that kind of relates to another thing.
Yep.
People have mentioned before that, like, what if Animal Crossing except, like, Jurassic Park? And I
Yep.
feel like we're just doing that right now, where it's like, okay, Miss Frizzle is dating a dinosaur.
I don't think Miss Frizzle is literally dating a dinosaur. Miss Frizzle is dating a lady that raises dinosaurs. Is our thing.
There we go.
Because I don't want to suggest she's a furry or a scaly at this point.
Why not?
Yeah, I feel like that would be like the least surprising thing about Miss Frizzle.
Right? She has a fucking time machine, but oh, she has a fursuit. Now she's weird.
No,
The outfit she wears, a fursuit would be right at home in her closet.
Barney is a male dinosaur, and we'd be changing more
Barney
than
is the
just
mascot. The teacher is a different person.
Yeah.
So
I'm
she
thinking it's
doesn't need to
different
be a
thing. And think of it that
dinosaur.
Barney is a representative.
No, she wouldn't be a dinosaur. She found
Okay.
the dinosaur
She's
in his
Barney's
party.
foster mom. Because you got to do the Sesame Street philosophy here. That your relatable child character needs to be childlike, equivalent to. Barney here.
us.
He's not like. Greetings, children. I am here to educate you.
He had to be raised to do that.
You all make
And
good
Miss
points.
Frizzle's wife helped raise him.
I searched Miss Frizzle's persona, and that's what I got. It's a raccoon, I guess.
All right.
Yeah,
You could have
Let me
multiple
just pop
personas.
this up here. I
I thought-
hate it. Thanks. I had to save it to my computer for this, so I hope everyone is happy.
Ninja, can this just be the new podcast logo? Can we just call it Better
No.
Come Back Tomorrow?
No, and now I have to find it. I've cursed my computer with this thing, and now I have to find
Just
it.
Google search Miss Frizzle persona.
No, I mean it's saved on my computer, so I could better put it up here, but now I can't find it.
It's pretty great.
It's somewhere on my computer, but I cannot find where I put it.
Okay,
A
but
different thing and save
I'll
a
just-
different thing and look at where it goes.
okay, back to the fiction though. So, okay, Miss Frizzle's wife, time traveler, she brings back a dinosaur. And now, is this T-Rex still sapient? Is it actually able to talk?
Yes, he needs to be able to talk because he's educational. It's important.
So so he is not forced to stay here. He chooses to be there.
Safe here. His mom is here. He loves her.
Okay, so
Raised from a baby.
He
There we
also
go.
has a great passion for learning.
Now it is up.
okay, so Miss Frizzlewife, the Frizzwiv, she is a mother figure to this sapient T-Rex.
Yes.
I like
just
this
like-
show.
Yeah, he's just like an honorary, he's just like an honorary member of the class. He's like the other kids treat him as one of their own.
That's
He's
adorable.
alongside them. Yes,
Oh.
and I'm saying it is cuter if he is a raptor and rather than a T-Rex. I'm just saying.
You know, I feel like we are changing more than one thing, but you know what? It's worth it in the end. It's
We're
sometimes
changing more than one thing now. We made Bo voiced by John Mulaney.
John
Bo-
Mulaney.
John Mulaney. Yes, I don't know how to say his.
We're telling
Time
you.
for clocking
We've
this
said it
pronounces a lot of
multiple
things.
times.
Can John Mulaney voice Miss Frizzle's wife?
No.
No.
It doesn't work that way.
It can. He could do
John Mulaney's
voices.
wife needs to voice Frizzle's wife.
You're right. Does
Well,
that mean
let's
that she
get the
is also a
Kickstarter
tiny
ready,
Jewish
then.
woman?
Yes,
I want this.
just a tiny Jewish woman and her raptor son.
You know, this is Ninja. I think this show is going to be too powerful because we're actually making good ideas.
It's okay. I have one more.
Oh no.
This one was a request from Roxy at Artie Stroke, who is totally not my girlfriend. Shut up. The Room, except Tommy Wiseau plays every role.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the
I've-
room, but I'm just going to say yes.
I've seen bits and pieces of this movie at varying points. I don't know how to feel about that.
Question is, okay, my question is, I feel like there are two options and both of them are good in this situation. Use editing technology to impose multiple Wiseaus per scene. Second, do they not? And it just Wiseau has to just hoof it top speed to each position, donning and removing props as needed
Yeah.
to continue to play the various roles.
I mean, you
It's
just
like
do a lot of
musical
editing.
Here, or are we doing this with the editing?
I would think you'd just have to do it with
both.
editing. Like, he acts out every
Recreating.
scene by himself as one character, and then does the exact same scene as the other character.
You know, even better. Like, they don't even have to really do cuts. It's just one long continuous thing, and Wiseau just switches between the different spots while still on film. Like it's
That's
a
what I'm
one-man
saying.
show.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
alternative, and it's really good. Though, if you do edit him in, if you go with the option of editing, then you have the other fun option where you could not just limit it to cast roles, but you could also replace several major props with another.
He's the football.
So just like,
Oh my
so,
God.
So like he just like walks past the scene, and then there's just like there's like a bunch of trees, and then there's just another Wiseau holding branches. Done.
See, okay, I feel like there's some humor that you might have gotten away with in when did the Room came out? Came out in 2003. There's some kinds of humors that I think could have gotten away with in 2003, but the problem here is if Wiseau's playing every role, then he's also playing the women, and does that imply that he's gonna have to do cross-dressing?
No, he's not allowed to cross-dress for the women parts. He just has to be himself. He literally can't have costumes for them.
Is every character just the same character, but they just have like slightly different inflections or something?
Character is just Tommy Wiseau as himself. He's not even like in costume.
Wow.
He's allowed props, and then they are distinguished by their props.
So he has to do different accents for all of them, but remember, this man cannot act or do
Yeah.
accents. So,
Yeah, yes, I'm saying you've got to do this like Psychonauts did the Milkman Conspiracy. You've got to just like, it's all Tommy Wiseau, just as Tommy Wiseau.
yes.
It's just Tommy Wiseau holding
Exactly
different
as
name
himself.
tags.
With the same one. Difference is what prop he is holding.
Yes.
This informs you his role.
Yes.
So it's the Room via whose line is it anyway rule?
Yes.
Yes. Exactly. You understand.
Damn it. You did it again, Clocky.
We're dead.
Also, on a
You're
separate
all
note,
welcome.
this
I bet I
image of
exist.
the other guy the eyes look wrong. They look kind of photoshopped, and I don't like it. Why did you have that picture, Wikipedia? What the fuck?
Were you looking
Or
at
did
the
you
room?
decide to inflict that image onto the rest of us?
Yeah. Yeah, no. I just want to. I keep the Wikipedia art in case there's any useful details, like the fact that it had a budget of 6 million and it got a box office of 1,800.
I'm sure they've made up for it in video sales, even though I don't think there's actually been any video sales.
Tommy
Yeah, there's
Wiseau
probably
would just play
a lot
that
of
guy,
pirating.
except like himself in exactly the same, except his shirt is open. That's for that role.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, Ninja or Clocky, your idea is it's just good. I appreciate it, but I feel like the room just kind of has its own like aura, its own thing. Like you just can't change anything with it, really, because it
Well,
just
obviously this doesn't
it's
exist
its own
like to
special.
we're not supplanting the original. We are merely augmenting the original by proposing a hypothetical. We're talking branching timeline here. We're not talking stable time loop.
Okay.
Oh, don't even
This
get me
is
started on
not
time
like
loops.
we would go back and erase the true room from existence to replace it with our pale offering, because obviously you just can't do that to the room.
Is this new version of the room with all these different Wiseaus just paradox versions of him, and all this is happening just because of time travel?
Yes!
Just homestuck me in my own house.
Not just Homestuck. There's a bunch of other stuff where like there's like 12 different versions of the same person because of time loops.
But he literally used the phrase paradox clones.
Oh, there we go.
To be fair, like, it is known that you will essentially make Homestuck out of anything if you take enough time with something. We're essentially gonna make Homestuck every single episode. Let's not lie to ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, I wait in mortified curiosity of the time that
I can't wait for
we
Animal
make
Crossing
Homestuck out of
Homestuck.
Sonic.
Now we have to figure out the blood casts of all the members of of Sonic using Homestuck logic.
I don't
No,
know
not
anything.
today. Not
Okay.
today.
I don't know shit about the bloodcast thing, honestly. Like, one of my
Sonic is
friends got
lying.
really into Hive Swap, and I am into
I'm-
Homestuck, but not to the point where I'm, like, wicked obsessed about the lore.
This
So
is my
I'm just
wisdom.
like, cool. Like, they talk about, oh, this rank does this, and this rank does that, and I'm so confused, but it's like, cool.
Is Homestuck real?
And I think with that, we're gonna end it for today.
Yep, thanks.
Yep.
Tune in next time where I have killed Gage and disposed of his body.
Oh my god.
That's fair.
So yeah, thanks for listening. Bye.
I'm Gage.
Bye.
Oh, are we not gonna outro ourselves?
Yeah, we should probably outro. Reverse order from last time then.
Manny,
Remember
you're
which
first.
order we went with?
Oh god. Okay, so I'm Manny. I was playing Species for the last 10 minutes of this.
I'm Gage, also known as Cat Comic Studios.
Clock it!
And I'm about to summon some demons.
And I'm Ninja. Thanks for listening to Everything's the Same Except. Tune in next time when we make Homestuck, except Hussy is replaced with Beyonce. Bye!